Hey there, everybody. Praise on your porch right now. Praise on your porch right now. Praise on your porch right now. This is what we do every day. This is what we will do today. We praise on our porch right now. We praise on our porch right now. We praise on our porch right now. This is what we do every day. Looty, looty, lotty, looty, late, late, late. Looty, looty, lotty, looty, late, late, late. Hey everybody, welcome to Wendi City on a Hill. Praise on your porch, Wiesbaden, Germany. Welcome all the communities across the nations, across the lands, from my hill to yours. Welcome on into this place. Hey there, Crystal Girl. So glad you are in here. I am gonna win. I am gonna win. I am gonna win, 'cause God says so. I am gonna win, I am gonna win, I'm gonna win, 'cause God says so. We are gonna win, we are gonna win, we are gonna win, 'cause God says so. We are gonna win, we are gonna win, we are gonna win, 'cause God says so. I just started learning this song today. I love that. I think I've heard it just a little bit before. I'm listening to some Spotify, and this is Martha Munizi or something like that. Martha Munizi. And so it's called Gonna Win. I'm gonna win. I love that. I'm gonna win because God says so. The name of Jesus is glorious. Oh, I love it. I love it. Ooh, 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 ooh. I love it. Martha always has some really great songs that I love following her on and everything. And so, because I love it, because, you know, we can sing about, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win, 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 win. And we win. Why? We don't win not by might, nor by power, by your Spirit, God. Yes, your Spirit, God. Not by might, nor by power, by your Spirit, God. Oh, your Spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your Spirit, God. Oh, your Spirit, God. Not by might, not by power, by your Spirit, God. Yes, your Spirit, God. Breathe. You breathe on us. Spirit, you breathe. Yes, you breathe on us. So we stand in awe of you. Yes, we stand in awe of you. Yes, we stand in awe of you, Lord. Yes, we stand in awe of you. And that's why, God, we can say, we're going to win, we're going to win, we're going to win. We win, we win, we win because of your great name, my God. I love that. I absolutely love that. Hey there, family. Have you been in your word yet today? Have you been in your word yet today? Have you? I'm just wanting to know, have you been in your word today? Your 1 year Bible, have you been there? Because you know we go there every day. Have you been in your 1 year Bible? If you have, what did God say to you? If you haven't, what? Oh, I can just guarantee you that God is going to say something already this morning or this afternoon. He's been speaking to me throughout the day about his word and everything. So I can only imagine that he is going to do the same exact thing for you, that he's going to be speaking to you, for you, and through you is what he's going to do. So please don't miss that opportunity. Just give him space and he's going to flood your place. I'm telling you. Right, Jeannie? This is what we do. Thank you so much, Jeannie, for all the sharing you do. If you guys wouldn't mind, if you just share. That would be great. If you put it in your groups, that would be awesome. That'd be super, super fantastic. I love that because we just want to tell Jesus. We want to tell Jesus that we love him, but we also want to tell other people about Jesus. And we want to make it a way for people, if they can't get connected through the morning with their Bibles, that they can get connected in the Word through what we do and through our family. So here we go, family. I got stuck on those first few verses. Did anybody else get stuck on there? Hey, thanks, Jeannie, for bringing up the free Bible. You can get a free Bible, the one that we read, the 1 Year Daily Bible from Page Comstock. Make sure you put an @ before Page's name on there, so it highlights it and stuff, and click on the name. That would be great. I just can't tell if it's highlighted or not and stuff. So Anyway, so here we are. I'm only going to be in Numbers 10, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Numbers. Oh, yes, we are in Numbers. That's what I'm going to be in. Numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to read it right now. Numbers 10, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the Lord said to Moses, make 2 trumpets of hammered silver for calling the community to assemble for signaling the breaking of camp. When both trumpets are blown, everyone must gather before you at the entrance of the tabernacle. But if only one trumpet is blown, then only the leaders, the heads of the clans of Israel, must present themselves to you. Hey, Riddell, welcome back into the house. How is your wife and our sweet little baby doing? Hey there, Lindsay. So glad. Here we go. So here we go. We're talking in Numbers. We're taking this Old Testament principle. We're running it through the New Testament, and then we're applying it to our Living Testament lifestyle. This is what we're doing. We're putting it right into our Great 8 lifestyle. So when I was thinking of this word, because it says make 2 trumpets of hammered silver, and I got stuck on that word hammered silver, because I'm like, okay, to hammer silver, that can't be an easy task, what's the purpose of hammering the silver? And so I got to looking that up online, and to be hammered, of course, in the modern days, with regards to drinking, it means something completely like you're out of your mind and stuff, you just drank too much. But hammered, as far as a technique, a craftsman, a blacksmith skill and stuff, or a jewelry maker skill, to have hammered silver is like this. And it says it's a technique used to distress metal. A technique used to distress metal. Boy, I can just put that into application into my life, and maybe not metal, but maybe some things into my life that distress my Great 8 areas to bring about what we're going to read. So hammered is a technique used to distress metal or create a bent or wavy or flattened effect. Hammering hardens the metal and can shape and add texture. Hammering can be performed with a ball peen hammer on on a small jeweler's anvil or similar objects, right? Titus, hey there, buddy. How you doing? I missed you. Yes, and so here it is. So hammering is an effective way to harden metals as well, so they do not bend when they're used. And when it's talking about hammered with regards to hammering metal, it means to hit or beat something with a hammer or a similar object. But it says, it was really cute when I was looking this up, caution, it is a good idea to wear protective eyewear while you work. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I was also looking up the other meanings. So there's 3 meanings for hammered. So there's the hammered in today's life with what you drink, and then you're just so out of it, you just have no authority or no sense of anything, that you're just so out of it and stuff. And then the second one is to hammer, like a technique used to distress metal. And then the third hammered, that explanation that it gave or meaning was to attack or criticize forcefully and relentlessly. Wow, how about that? Wow, hammered. You take these words, and it's like these specific words that were chosen in the Old Testament to bring, that God chose, that it would be translated into the word hammered, and that it would be, this is what it would mean for today. This is what it would mean for today, because see, hammered probably wasn't around back 120 years ago or 200 years ago. So when people were reading through, they didn't do any Google searches. They just had to go hammered. They were thinking blacksmith, because at the time that's what they were using for metal tools and metal weapons and stuff. So they would understand hammered to be that. But now we have 3 explanations, 3 meanings for the word hammer. Wow. Just imagine what's going to happen in like 50 years, what hammered might turn back around and changing its name and everything. So we can all agree, right, that we have been, that we have at least one time in our lives have been in a season of being hammered. Oh, Dan, I was hoping you'd pop on here. Dan says here, I've worked in welding for years. We also hammer and temper metal for the purpose of wanting it to be able to endure longer. That's what I just had said. Yeah, that is so cool, to endure longer. Oh, Dan, I can't wait to hear your live, because I bet you're going to go somewhere with this. Boy, I tell you what. So we can all agree that we have at one time in our lives been in a season of being hammered, in the sense that we feel the constant pounding or the constant battering or beating or knocking or striking or pummeling or walloping, hey Becky, so glad that you're in here, or trouncing or whacking by situations, people, places, or things and ideas or habits, and we or others or our spiritual enemies created, with no end appearing in sight. We can all agree we've been in seasons like that, right? Where this hammering, that it was a technique, that the enemy of our soul used a technique, or that we ourselves set ourselves up for some hammering to happen, or just things that happen in this world. COVID came and it hammered all over the place, didn't it? And stuff. But we can also agree that we have been in seasons at one time or another, or a season of being even criticized or censured or attacked or condemned or castigated or chastised or lambasted or reprimanded, rebuked or admonished by others or even ourselves, with no reward or end in sight. Can we not all agree with that? I mean, some of us are still there. Some of us are like, oh man, we gotta get there. And then we can all agree that some of us, even as Dan was saying here, that we have all been tempered by the Lord, that we have at one time been tempered by the Lord, or the situations in our lives and hammered in our great 8 areas for the purpose of God wanting it to be, for us to be able to endure longer. That God's purpose is for us to endure longer. Man, Dan, I just can't wait to hear what you have to say about this. This is really good. Because here's what I know, and I know that you guys know this too, but I just got to say this, that when God allows a season for being hammered, whether it's in our finances or wherever, any of those great 8 areas, or just in life, when God allows a season of hammering, because it's got to go through God, right, Tammy? It's just got to go that way. And so when He allows a season of hammering or whatever, that He has a reason, and He's not teasing. He is not. He's just not teasing. He's going to work it out for His and your pleasing. He's going to work it out for a pleasing for us. He is going to allow this to happen. So I don't have to ever worry about when the things that just come and hammer upon my life, and it just seems like it's just constant hammering. I don't have to sit and go, God, what are you doing? What are you doing? But I just have to sit and trust and go, God, I know you know what you're doing. I know you know what you're doing, that you're not actually doing this. You've allowed this to happen. And in allowing this to happen, you are going to make me able to endure to the end. You're going to give me you're going to give me the ability you're creating a bend in me, God, that's a good thing, and that I'm going to be able to teach to others. And you're going to cause this beauty or this flattening effect or this wavy effect, or you just shaping me in a whole new way, and you're adding texture to me. You're adding texture to me, because I think about even the Old Testament in the sanctuary, in order for all those pomegranates and those trees and the flowers and the blossoms to be into and on the structure itself, the craftsmen had to go in and chisel. They had to go in and chisel that stuff out for Dan to be able to make these wonderful structures and everything in his welding. He has to go in and he has to use that hammering too, or he has to use those welding tools. And man, you got to wear the right protection for sure, but you got to be working. You got to force things. You got to work things in a certain way to make them bend and to be strong, to endure to the end. And I can just see that's what God is doing. I don't have the reasons for why God allows certain seasons, but what I do know is He has promised to work all things out for our good, because I know that He can do all things but fail, because He's never lost a battle. No, no, he's never lost a battle, and my God, he never will. 'Cause you can do all things, my God. You can do all things but fail. 'Cause you've never lost a battle. No, 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 you never lost our battles. And I know, and you know, that he never will. We just know that God's never gonna lose a battle. Never, ever, ever lose a battle. And you know, sometimes though, when we're walking through these battles, we're walking through these hammerings, there are times when things that are just coming in that we did not even cause, you know, because I keep thinking about how sometimes that our bodies just break down, you know, that there is no spiritual reason for the breakdown except for the spiritual reason that it happened in the garden when Adam and Eve chose to sin in the garden, and that put a curse on the world, and that brought us to where our bodies break down and bust apart and all that kind of stuff. Yet God turns our breakdowns into building sites or construction zones. And don't I have a story? And don't you have a story of many times where God has come in, and man, when our bodies have broken down due to whatever and not anything that we caused, he turned that breakdown into a building site or a construction zone, right? It was just so cool. So I was just thinking about looking back at last year, and I can see that when and where and how my body was breaking down on me. I could tell, now in retrospect, I could tell, and I knew that something was going on, but I was in the best shape I'd been in a long time. I'd been so intentional all year to pursue physical health at all costs, even when I was pursuing physical health at all costs. And I know that even when we pursue physical health at all costs, that our bodies can just break down. And it simply goes right back to the garden. It goes way back to the garden because of the fall from long ago. Then this January 2021 came, and my sweetheart just said, I can't take any more. I can't take any more. And I had those fainting spells you guys might remember, and those of you who are new might remember or don't know, and now you get to know them. I had fainting episodes, and without realizing that I didn't even realize they were cardiac arrests. I had no idea, but it was like, yeah, my heart stopped beating. It's like, what? And then when the convulsions followed, the cardiac arrests, I went to the ER, I was just like, okay, there's something wrong with me. Ta-da, ta-da, my come to Jesus moment on that, because I kept praying, Holy Spirit, what is it? And I wasn't getting go to the hospital, because I'm okay with going to the hospital. I just wasn't getting that. I had a couple friends tell me that I need to go to the hospital, but maybe that was him speaking to them. Oops, his grace is enough. His grace is enough. And they're gracious to me as well. So there it happens. A soon-to-be grave moment was turned into a garden. He, the only one who can do that, can turn a grave moment into a garden. God uses all types of people to bring about garden moments. And I know I'm talking about the tampering or the hammering of the silver, but if you'll just hang with me a little bit while I'm telling my story, because God wants so much. He uses all types of people to bring about garden moments. And this past year, and this year, God has been using you and I to bring about his transformative death to life, graves into gardens experiences with people who come in and out of our lives, as well as bringing people who came to make gardens out of the grave moments and seasons in our lives. God has been using you and I to come in and help hammer some things out in people's life. And it's not like we're coming in hard or strong or anything like that. We're just coming in and we're walking beside them, and then it's like as we're walking, we're not afraid to bump or anything like that. I mean, it's just like this hammering of the metal, because God is trying and doing his best. Karen and Tammy, what he's doing is he's bringing us together to make us a stronger body. He's calling us together to work together to make us a stronger body and everything. So God has been using all types of people to bring about garden moments, all types of people. And I just think about who this past year, who in 2020 and who in this year, we're already 3 months in, family, who this year has been your grave to garden person. Who is it that God has been sending in your way? Who were those people in your life? Who are those people in your life right now? What were the words that God spoke to you through them that brought you out from under to the above atmospheres and into life above ground? And who have you been helping this past year? Who have you been helping as they're hammering out the things in their lives, as they're doing their best to make their lives this beautiful structure, this strong, enduring structure to the end? Who have you been helping this past life or this past year and last year? You know, God's got great plans for us to bring life and to bring grave to garden moments for ourselves, which will in turn and transform graves into gardens, lifestyles into other people as well. And we always, always bringing us back to starting us inwardly in ourselves and working outwardly and working with others then. Because just like when you're flying on an airplane, I used to be a flight attendant for Delta, and man, that was a great time in my life, but flying as a flight attendant, just like when we were flying on the airplane, I'd come about and, I'd have to give the instructions and, talking about the cabin pressure. When the cabin pressure drops, the oxygen did all the wonderful, holding the mask and everything, and then make sure that the people knew that when the mask dropped, you use the oxygen mask to cover yourself, and you use it on yourself first before you take care of anyone else. You take care of yourself. You get the proper oxygen. You get the proper pounding, if we can use today's illustration, the proper pounding and the proper working out of breath and the health for yourself. Then you're able to help others around you. And this is what God is doing through me, and God is doing this through you in other people's lives. And is there anything better? Is there anything better? My God, I just keep thinking about, is there anything better than God's grave to garden experiences, And I just think about that, He turns mourning to dancing. He turns graves into gardens. He's the only one who can. He's the only one who can. So if you're finding today, family, that you are being hammered, like what's talking about here, the hammered silver, know that there is a purpose that's coming. There is something that's coming that's so great that it's really, really wonderful, but you got to go through the hammering process first. You got to have hammered silver first in order to have trumpets later. You got to have hammered silver in order to be able to have a beautiful trumpet, to not only just to be a display trumpet, but also to be a trumpet that calls. And these trumpets, once they were hammered and decorated and taken care of and crafted, they were used for calling the community to assemble. And that's what God is doing in our lives. He's allowing these hammering situations, these hammering things to come on in. And He's allowing them to make us into beautiful trumpets for the Lord, beautiful voices for the Lord, we're being made into beautiful spokesmen and just people who are willing to share His word and calling the communities together like Dan does. Dan calls his community. Dan uses the internet. He uses the social media to call his community into attention. He calls them in so that they can signal. He's signaling, man, he's calling people in because he's got words to say that God's given him, and I like I said today, Dan's probably got a great word today as well, just as far as what God's calling the community to do, His community, because see, God's put people in your reach and they're wanting to hear from you. They want to, and there are people that are going to happen across your feed and across your video or across your words that you put on your Facebook. Hey, Connie, and they're gonna happen because Holy Spirit's gonna draw them there, and it's a really super cool thing. And because you've been obedient in following the will of the Lord, and you've been obedient in allowing the hammering and just walking through the hammering process, that you're just going, okay, eventually I'm going to be this hammered trumpet, and I'm going to have this beautiful song that's going to come out of me. And maybe you're not feeling like you have this beautiful song coming out of you right now, but I'm telling you, you do. And God is allowing the song that He is creating, allowing what He is doing in your life to minister to others. People are watching, people are listening, people are noticing, people are taking note is what they're doing. And your life, your expressions and your extensions are His calling and His signaling to the people in your lives and to yourself that He is on the move and that He is doing, He is doing a great thing and stuff. And so I just had to come on in here and share with you about that hammering and the hammering of the silver, and how it just is that it's not really a fun time, when God hammers on us, or not even God hammering on us, because I don't, oftentimes it's not even God. It's just the things of this world, our poor choices, our unintentional choices, our intentional choices, people are just rotten, and because they're rotten because of who's pulling their strings and stuff. And so we get hammered and pummeled by those things and stuff. Yet we have a God who's saying, I got you. I'm going to win. You're going to win. I'm making you through this. You're going to be this beautiful, amazing trumpet. And so maybe you want to be an oboe. Maybe you want to be a French horn. Maybe you don't want to be any of those. You want to be the one doing all the hammering. And I just say, do that on your enemies. Hammer your enemies down. I'm telling you, you make those enemies, those spiritual forces of darkness, you hammer them. And you know how you hammer them the best is when you're living for Christ. When you're giving Him everything, that's where it goes. That's what it takes. That's where it's at and stuff. So family, I just want you to know that we will never ever have another day like today. Make it yours. Let's get there from our here. And God just promises us in the blessings of Amos 9:11 that it's not going to be long now. God's decree says that things are about to happen so fast that our heads are going to spin, blessing upon blessing upon blessing, and we won't be able to keep up with it. No, not able to keep up with it. And I'm telling you, there are many of you who are already walking in that. Many of us who have walked in and out of that, and where some of us are like, bring it on, God, I'm ready. And He's like, that's all right. I'm so glad you're ready. You're still getting tampered. You're still getting hammered is what you're getting. And I'm just producing an incredible thing. I'll be a yodel for Jesus. I love that, Connie. I love that. Family, I see you. I celebrate you. You are enough. I'm forgetting about what God thinks about you. What? God sees you. God celebrates you. You are enough. Have a great day. Choose from Beast Button. Love you.